Layla was stunned by the scene outside her window. A meteor hurtled down at incredible speed and struck the river, triggering a violent explosion. The shockwave spread outward until it reached the high-rise building where she lived. Terrified and trembling, Layla dropped to the floor and crawled toward the door. Outside, the crashes kept coming, each one accompanied by a deafening roar. She scrambled to her feet and rushed to the exit only to be hit by another shockwave. Shaking, she slipped on her shoes as the entire building swayed violently, threatening to collapse at any moment. Her heartbeat raced with every tremor. In the corridor, chaos reigned. People were screaming, emergency lights flickered weakly, and the sense of urgency grew unbearable. 5 people rushed into an elevator. Layla desperately tried to warn them, but moments later, as the walls cracked, the elevator plummeted, killing everyone inside. She made it to the balcony and saw meteors raining from the sky, striking the ground like fiery bullets. Before the next shockwave could reach her, Layla dashed into the emergency stairwell. The narrow passage was packed with panicked people pushing and shoving, dust and smoke choking the air. Pressed against the wall, the small-framed Layla struggled for breath. A meteor strike shook the building again, sending fragments crashing onto her head. Sand stung her eyes, blurring her vision. Barely able to see, she followed the pounding footsteps of the crowd. Knocked off balance, Layla tumbled down the stairs and was crushed into a corner. The sounds around her grew muffled. She forced herself up, ready to push forward, but the suffocating panic made her freeze. Instead of fighting the crowd, she turned back, running upstairs. On the second-floor balcony, she gulped in fresh air. The world seemed to clear. She climbed over the railing and leapt down onto the roof of a car. Staggering to her feet, she looked around in confusion. A meteor blazed past overhead, the shockwave shaking the building behind her to its core. Layla stood paralyzed, not knowing which way to run. Just then, a woman stopped her, begging for help. Her child was trapped inside a car. Together, they tried to force open the door, but it wouldn't budge. At that moment, Layla's boyfriend arrived. He instructed the child to turn away, then smashed the passenger window with his fist, unlocking the door and pulling the child to safety. Debris rained from nearby high-rises, the crowd's screams never ceasing. Her boyfriend grabbed her hand, pulling her to shelter. They crouched behind a car, scanning their surroundings. Through shattered glass, the reflection showed meteors still streaking across the sky. He pulled Layla again, and the two raced toward the main road, swept up in the fleeing crowd. Suddenly, a meteor struck directly in their path, the blast wave surging toward them. They barely managed to dive behind a wall as the violent gust tore past. Inside another building, they caught a brief moment of rest, but cracks spread across the walls, fragments tumbling down like rain. Her boyfriend shoved her aside just as a cascade of debris buried him. Before she could react, a car slammed into her, knocking her unconscious. An elderly couple, shaken by guilt, stopped to check on her. They carried the unconscious Layla into their car. Outside, sirens wailed, buildings crumbled, and the world filled with chaos. The woman gently placed Layla's cat on her chest, hoping its warmth could comfort her. Fearful, she urged her husband to drive slowly. The two argued, distracted, until a runaway bus loomed ahead. The violent jolt woke Layla. Disoriented, she looked around. The couple was relieved to see her awake. She handed the cat back to the woman, while outside, meteors continued pounding the earth. Glancing back, Layla saw bridges and buildings collapsing. Ahead, 2 trucks blocked the road. Vehicles collided chaotically, trapping them from both directions. There was no choice, they had to abandon the car. Outside, the air was filled with dust, explosions, and screams. The woman frantically searched for her cat, but Layla had no time to help. Another skyscraper toppled nearby, forcing her to turn and run toward a storefront. But before she could reach safety, a massive shockwave swept over her. This time, Layla didn't make it out alive.